Okay, so the first thing you need to know about this story is it was not recorded with YouTube in mind. I wrote this, well, I didn't write it, obviously. You'll be able to tell in a moment. But I did not speak this into existence for YouTube. This was for a personal friend who knows me and my quirks and... yeah. He is my best friend, so he gets the inside jokes. However, I think you guys can keep up even without knowing the inside jokes. But I went to digging through my downloads folder and I found this story and I thought, "Oh wow. This is hysterical. I should totally put it up on YouTube." So just a heads up, I will be editing out names, including my own. But this is a thing that happened to me, and I really hope you can keep up with my, insane prattling, of which there is much. I'm also gonna do this in like a really quick chibi style, just to make it go faster, because the story is like 20 minutes long. Yeah. Well, good luck. Bye.
Voice recording for your listening convenience. So, this was this was interesting. So, here is the background. One of the science teachers, and obviously the science department, she has been working really hard to get
Error.
to become the first get
Error.
to become the host of the first pollinator garden on a college campus in
Error.
so it's like this really big deal thing. Anyways, so I've been hearing about this for the past few weeks, and I've been like, oh, okay, well, if I can afford a ticket, I'll go because I want to support you. So I'm like, okay. So the past few weeks, I've been going, will I go? Will I not go? Da, 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 da. And eventually, I'm like, it. I want to support her. I can make it happen. It's not going to kill me, and I need to learn how to spend money anyways. So I do. Oh, God. That's probably where this trouble started, but okay. So the event is a fundraiser called Bottles, Books, and Buzz. And that was one of the other reasons I was hesitant about it is because there's alcohol there. And as you know, I do not drink. So I do get a ticket. I end up going and I get there accidentally about an hour and a half early. And so I just start volunteering to help out wherever. Um, there's cheeses that need to be sliced and diced. There's grapes that need to be fetched and sandwiches that need to be brought over and all the fun stuff. So I'm running around helping out. So by the time the whole shebang starts, me and another volunteer are slicing up some cheeses and labeling them, and we're being pretty creative with it, if I do say so myself. It was an interesting, entertaining evening. Um, so I get there early. I volunteer for stuff. That's fine. That is in my personality and in my nature. You know this, I think. They're all like older people and they all look elegant. And when I actually look around, I'm like, please don't look at me. I am not elegant. I'm just here to support a friend. Because I was in this t-shirt that says dig words because it's for a pollinator garden and it was the most on-brand thing I could bring. And I don't have like fancy American. The fanciest thing I own is I'm actually wearing one of the outfits from the wedding right now, but it's probably one of the fanciest things I own other than the skirt I made myself. So I'm not fancy. I don't do fancy. So I'm just there. And then I get ambushed and I feel bad because I still don't know this lady's name and whenever she sees me she goes,
Error.
I'm like, "Hi. You're sweet." And I have no idea who you are. Please don't hurt me. But I've avoided asking her name the whole time. I will find her on the staff list. I'm sure her picture is there somewhere. I'm sure I can find her. But she's such a sweetheart. And so she comes up to me and goes,
Error.
I'm like, hi. And she goes, what is this I hear about you looking for a new job? And I'm like, oh. So we're word got out that I'm looking for other jobs. I think that's the main point of that story. That's the relevance there. So this lady comes over. She's like,
Error.
what's this I hear about you looking for a new job? And I'm like, I was told to look for a new job and put out feelers. If I can stay here and learn more and do my best to continue to serve the students, I will. But that's just what my life is right now. So I get ambushed by that lady, and I think her husband, he's somewhat relevant too later on. So we have this conversation, and then I look at her and I look at the food and I go, well, they're descending on the food lot, so I'm gonna let you guys go and grab some food before it's all gone. They're like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. We'll talk to you later.
Error.
Bye. And I'm like, bye. So I find a table. The volunteer who was cutting stuff up with me earlier, she sees that I'm by myself at this table, and she makes her way over to sit down. So I pull out a chair for her, and so she sits with me. And I look around, and then I see there's a teacher I recognize. So I see him, and when his gaze wanders over, I wave really hard, go, hello! And he's like, ah, yes, a weirdo that I recognize. So he comes over to the table. He ditches the line, comes over to the table, and I say, ah, yes, welcome to the weirdo table. He's like, glad to be here. I'm like, okay, cool beans. And then I'm telling them about being ambushed. And then,
Error.
who is the history teacher, he looks at me and goes, you're applying for other jobs? Which evidently he missed the memo. Anyways, so I am like explaining this entire thing. It takes a while. So we're talking. Basically, I'm talking, they're listening. I'm the hyperactive one and they're the calm ones. Anyways, so moving on. As I'm explaining this to
Error.
and to the volunteer, and then we get onto another conversation, we hear this lady greeting the guests and welcoming us and saying, okay, and so thank you for buying a ticket. Thank you for supporting a pollinator garden. And she also says, there is a pinata in the back and sticks. Please feel free to beat the pinata up. And I'm thinking, okay, that's great. Anyways, so I'm back to my conversation with my friends and chit chat, get them all caught up to speed. And I'm like, okay, guys, it's been like 20 minutes since she mentioned the pinata. No one has gone for the pinata. Would either of you like to hit the pinata with me? And they both give me this look. And I'm like, understood. You guys don't want to hit the pinata. And they're like, you are correct. I'm like, fair. I will find someone else to go with me to hit this pinata. And I do. I turn around, and on the table behind us is the lady who ambushed me earlier and her husband. And so I grin, and I'm like, oh, this will be fun. So I get up, I turn around, I walk over to the table, and I say, excuse me. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, the pinata has not been hit yet, and I would like to hit the pinata. Would you guys like to accompany me and also hit the pinata with me? And they're like, sure, that sounds like a great idea. And I'm like, yes, I have gotten other people in on this. I love this. So we get up and we walk over to the pinata. By the way, this pinata is a rather large pinata. It's shaped like a sunflower. It's pretty big. And what they have given us are 4 square yardsticks. They are made of wood. They are yardsticks. And they are square. So they're not like easily snappable, but they're wood. So I pick up 2, I do a fancy little flip, and I hand them out to the lady and her husband. So we're all hyped to hit the pinata with these little square wooden yardsticks. None of us saw anything wrong with this. We were not anticipating what was going to happen. So I give first hit to the lady because, again, I invited them. I now feel like the hostess, and the hostess gives the first shot to somebody else. That's how it works. So she gets the first hit. Whack! She gets a great dent in that pinata. That pinata swings around a little bit. Excellent. I look over to her husband to give him, and he's like, no, you go first because you're the lady. And I'm like, okay, that works. And also, I really want to hit this pinata.